on colors as a whole. My wife called me yesterday. She's like, "Can you water the plants?" And I'm like, "I didn't sign up to fucking water plants." And she's like, and I'm like, "They look fine." And she's like, "Well, what shade of green are they?" And I think she's brought her office plants back. Like, because suddenly there's like 10 times more plants than I've ever seen in my house there. And she's asking me, and they're green. And she's like, "What shade of green is it?" I didn't even know, like, how do I even like quantify that? What shade of green is it? What are my options? Like, where do I start? Like, what? Like, I'm gonna over the phone convey the health of her plants by the shade of green? Are you fucking kidding me? I told her they'll probably be all right. I told her if she asks nicely tomorrow, I'll consider it. But we're not doing the shade of green test on how to do this. Like, there's absolutely no way I would ever be able to navigate that situation in a way that ends well. What shade of green is it? Can you imagine like sitting there like picking up each of the plants, like, and they're huge fucking plants, right? Trying to compare what shade of green they are? All right. I need one of the painter cards? No. I just need not to have plants in my life. All right, this guy says it correctly? All right. Let's find out.
So yes, that is right.
I hate this guy already. All right. Okay, let's play. I've said this before. Let's play some Frostpunk. All right. All right. We're winding down on our desire to vent verbally, vomit on stream. But I think it's been a fun little catch-up session. So, okay. What are we doing with Frostpunk? We are probably. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word, Filthy. Well, English is overrated. We're probably going to harvest some things, huh? Yeah. Killing people with ice. No, we're making children into valuable contributing members of society. I think this is literally adulthood. I get the link, Mark. Thanks. That's also a weird thing. People do this, right? They assume when you describe a deficiency or describe an inability to do something that you immediately want to be able to do that. And there's lots of things that don't know how to do and have no desire to how to learn to do that ever. I'm trying to think of examples as we do this right now. I use an example when I'm talking in the state of the channel. It's like sometimes it's, some of the communication patterns. Like, I get it. You communicate differently, and you like how you communicate, but I like how I communicate, and I'm fine with that. And I don't need to learn how to communicate like you're communicating. So, anyways, what are we doing with this shit? We are harvesting this stuff. We're harvesting this stuff via gathering post, but we don't have any minerals to build a gathering post because we don't have enough children workers. Backflips are interesting. I would like to learn how to backflip. Oh, I wanted a trampoline as a kid and didn't ever get one because trampolines were insanely fun. I used to spend a lot of time at friends' houses jumping on trampolines, which I think is actually a way to get brain damage, but I like the experience of jumping on trampolines is super fun. My wife did a class once that she took in a Chicago-based class on what is the flying trapeze shit. She said it was like a fuck ton of like time before and like very like fuck ton of time like listening to like lectures and like being told about safety stuff and a very, very small amount of time actually doing that stuff. Aerials with silks. No, it wasn't silks, but it's the flying trapeze stuff. Yeah, trapeze. Creme de la creme does trapeze. He teaches it. Does he really, Kush? It's really interesting. I wonder where is he based on? I think she said she would do that again, but she would want a class that had a bit more actual time for her doing that. Southern Florida, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just so excited. It's too early to be excited. I don't do well with long-term. I don't maintain excitement over long terms very well, but I'm really excited about the news that we're going to be moving. I'm really looking forward to getting back to a climbing gym. It really pisses me off that I haven't been able to do that in the last while. I'm seriously bored of 9-round. Like, I'm glad that I'm doing something, although I've been pretty bad about that in the last month or so, but I'm so fucking tired of having to figure out health routines that are boring to me. Like, I just want to go back to an activity that's both physically good for me and mentally engaging for me. So I'm really looking forward to climbing again. And I'd also like a more interesting biking area. So my current fucking area for biking is the most boring area to bike in I've ever been in my life.
New Year, more child labor.
Thank you, Pious Monk, for the $40 donation. Much appreciated. Happy New Year's to you as well. Appreciate the continued support to my channel. Yeah, exercise is boring as fuck. And the trick is not to find boring as fuck exercise, because it is actually fairly good for you in like a billion different ways. So. Where I'm moving, can't say right now. We don't know in part, but I can't say right now either. All right. Am I going to unpause? I keep like psyching myself up to unpause. I'm like, we should harvest this shit. And then be like, no, let's talk. All right. So this one is the one that's going to be done by a single building. It's super efficient. I think we get 1 million workers in this. Yeah, Zam, that's why I like it. It's intellectual. It's interesting. It's fun. You can do it with anyone of any skill level because it's not challenging. It's not a competition between you. You each challenge yourself individually. It's great. It's an activity my wife and I both enjoy that we can do as a couple, and we can do as a couple no matter who's better at it, which is super fucking good. When you do go outdoor climbing, it's often a fairly interesting trip that involves hiking and camping, which we both, well, she likes to do and I'm okay with doing. I like hiking a lot. I find camping a bit tedious. But we get to do that and we get to go see interesting places with it. And like some of the climbs have been absolutely incredible. Like I love some of the places I've climbed in have been just great. I like that mix too. I like the gym being close and accessible most of the time, and then doing a couple climbing trips a year is just plenty for me in terms of outdoor climbing. I think it's a lot. It's kind of a big. It's a full day climbing, and it's often a multiple full day experience to go climbing outdoors. So I like the gym experience of you go for an hour and a half or something, which is pretty good. You always got super drunk when climbing outside? Yeah, I don't want to start on stories. We'll never get to give gameplay, but I was definitely one time I was climbing in Southern Illinois, and we were all at the campsite, and it was dark, post-dark, and there were other people there, and we were passing around a bottle of something, I think like Jack Daniels or some like some pure liquor kind of deal, and then somehow we all ended up putting on headlamps, getting in the back of a pickup truck, and driving down to go late night bouldering, which in of itself wasn't particularly dangerous. But then the hike in and the hike out was along this particular climbing area. You camped kind of on the rim and then hiked down into the valley, I guess, canyon maybe, into the canyon to climb. And you're hiking along the rim of this. And I was drunk enough that like basically I was stumbling quite a bit. Like it was because we've been drinking. I was expecting to go to sleep, not go fucking hiking and climbing at that point in the dark along the rim with no real like collection, or no real like recollection, or no real comprehension of how close the rim was to me, which I think is a recipe for weeding yourself out of the gene pool. So I'm glad. My wife was apparently quite worried about me during that. I don't remember being very worried in that moment, but yeah, Invisible Turtle. Outdoor climbing is terrifying. Yeah, some people say that. There's definitely been scary moments. Should I tell this one again? Are we telling more stories? Do you guys want to hear a climbing story? I've told it on stream before. Told it on PKA as well, but it's one of my most impactful climbing stories. Yeah, all right, fine. No one wants me to unpause. Guys, you guys are instigating. It's fine, I'll be instigated. All right, so this was actually the same location, but a different day. Actually, maybe it was the next day. That would explain a lot. I don't think it was the next day. I think it was a different time we were down there. Can talk and play? No, you can't. What? You can't talk and play? All right, so I'm not switching the channel to just chatting, please. So if you guys know, do you guys know about climbing enough that I can make this distinction? You know what the difference between lead climbing and top roping is? Top roping is a rope's up already, and generally, like if you're in a gym, there's generally most of the time, if you're a casual gym goer, you're going to be top roping, right? You climb either on a generally on a like a auto blade, which is basically a hydraulic system to support you down, right? But when you're outdoors, you are in sport climbing, you're going to a place with bolted routes already, which means there are these spits of metal put on the wall that you're climbing up to and then clipping to and climbing to the next one and clipping. But you're top roping this. The first person to do that on the climb is leading this route, which means that your rope is above you. When your rope your rope is below you. You're climbing above your rope. And when you're climbing above your rope, what this means is when you fall, and you will fall climbing from time to time, when you fall the length of rope between you and your clip twice, right? So I'm climbing. Let's say I'm 10 foot off the ground. or let's say I'm 20 foot off the ground and I've clipped to a bolt 5 foot beneath me. That means my safety point is 5 feet beneath me, which means I have a 5 foot segment of rope that if I follow that 5 foot and then that 5 foot again. Okay, so that's lead. Lead is scarier. And interestingly, psychologically, lead and top rope are basically identical. It's maybe slightly more physically taxing to lead because you have to find points to clip in that are a drain on your stamina as you're doing that. But in general, it's the same climb. It doesn't get harder because it's a lead climb. But in your own head, it's a lot fucking harder because your safety is different and you fall differently and it's scarier. But anyways, so by the way, thank you Deathwatch for the resub. Welcome back. So it's the morning. It's the first climb of the day. We have a guidebook. The guidebook says, we're going to start on this route. It's a warm-up climb, so we're going for a moderate but not hard climb to start with. And we get there and we set up, and I'm leading, which means I'm setting up the rope. And once you have someone lead, you can top rope it for everybody else because the person's gone up, clipped in the rope, etc. Then come down and left the rope up, which means that if you want to, you can lead. Everyone can just take the rope and lead it. But if you want to, you can have someone lead it and then everyone else top rope it. And it's the first climb of the day, so that's the plan. So I'm leading this, and I get on this route, and it's a route that's well within my difficulty rating of what I climb well, and it's fucking hard, man. I get up to like the first clip and I clip in. The first clip's like 20 foot off the ground or something, right? And then I'm going up for the second clip, which is probably another 15 foot off the ground. So we're probably like 35 foot up or something at this point. And I'm trying to clip this fucking thing, and it's overhung and it's a bitch, and it's like right at the extreme of my technical limit of what I'm doing. I'm like, why the fuck is this so hard? And hanging there, and it's like I'm pumping out and I'm like trying to make this clip, and I'm sitting there going, I'm already clipped in beneath me. If I take a fall, it's a big fall, but I have safety. A fall is not a big deal past the kind of like psychological element of like, it's a fall and it feels a little bit weird and your body doesn't fucking like it. But like, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make this clip or not. And I'm sitting there like, fuck, I don't know, man. And I'm like, just pumped out, like trying for it. And I'm like, all right, and I muster this last little bit of effort, and I managed to make this clip, and it's really close. Like I came really close to just thinking like, yeah, I'll just drop. It's not a big deal. I'll just not make this clip and I'll be fine. And I will be fine. I have, my protection. And then I looked down, and I somehow managed to not fucking clip into the first piece of protection. So I'm making this decision about whether or not I drop 35 foot without a helmet onto rock with incomplete knowledge that I'm not actually on protection at all. I'm actually just hanging 35 foot up in the fucking air, making a decision of whether or not I drop backwards or not without looking. So that was exciting. That was real exciting. That's my closest to death climbing experience, I think. So, and bunch of people beneath watching who chose to not tell me, and they chose to not tell me because, well, hold on, their rationale was, if we tell him, it will freak him out. And if we freak him out, he may not make this clip. And they were very encouraging of, you can do it, like to clip at this thing, but people often do that when you're climbing. So I did not, from their intonation, gather that something was wrong. So I was making incomplete information, and I don't know if they had told me if I would have frozen up from like being like, shit, this is real deal, or if I would have just buckled down and made it work. I don't know. Well, I didn't skip the clip, Zam. I probably back clipped it in some way. In other words, I clipped it correct. I clipped it in enough that it was providing support at some point, then climbed past it and somehow managed to unclip unknowingly. And I'm not sure how. I, to this day, don't know how I managed to unclip it. Could I have down climbed? Probably not. Down climbing is also surprisingly difficult. A 35-foot climb still seems pretty good. Would have been a 35-foot fall. Anyways, so yeah. Yeah. Your palms are sweaty. Maybe I'm getting a little bit palm sweaty from that. I haven't climbed in a year and a half now, which sucks. But generally when I watch climbing videos or climbing content, I feel it in the sole of my foot. Like the whole foot tingles when I watch people do it, because it's like, it's that activation. Yes, dying would have been not on my top 5 list of things to do that day. What are the survival rates from falls like that? I have no idea. I've never looked it up. I don't know if I want to know. They're like slab or overhang more. Overhang. Overhang's fun. Overhang is just flexing muscles, and you get to be a man, which is, in the sense of like, like how men climb, right? It's like, it's all like arm, like especially new male climbers, where it's like overly using arms, not using technique or footwork anywhere near enough. So it's just like, like especially like juggy overhangs are super fucking fun. I hate slabs. Slabs are fucking boring as shit. No. 35 foot onto rock probably would have killed. Maybe. If you die, who will sit in your streamer chair instead of you? Presumably no one. Presumably you will find new content creators. Yeah, Kush, exactly. If you're a relatively physically fit male and who just starts climbing, you almost inevitably fall down that trap of mostly being upper body stuff. I don't think Frigg is very interested in streaming. This has been one of the things that I repeatedly am kind of amused by in life. Like, my wife is not a gamer at all. She doesn't like gaming. And also, surprisingly, she doesn't begrudge me my passion for gaming. And that combination is really kind of weird. Like, it'd be one thing if she understood it and played it and was involved in it, because then she'd be like, oh, that's him doing something I understand. But she isn't interested by it, which to some level to me suggests, I'm not trying to say this condescendingly. It suggests like not understanding it or it not pulling the same buttons for her, perhaps pushing the same buttons for her, but doesn't begrudge me climbing or doesn't begrudge me gaming. I like, Zam, as I got more into the sport, I also like routes that are different routes, like non-traditional routes in terms of the climbing, which is a lot of like often high stepping, a lot of weird body position stuff. Those are my favorites. I like STEMI routes. Those are really, really fun to do. You can do all sorts of like moves that when you look at, your brain goes, that's impossible to go from here to there. And then as you body position through it, you get to do it. I love climbing. Climbing's super, super fun. It's making me a little bit nostalgic for climbing, so I'm really looking forward to moving. Oh, Xanadu, that one bothers me too. People say this all the time. They're like, oh, you're so tall. You're so good at climbing. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want all of my accomplishments in climbing reduced to the fact that I'm taller than you. I see routes all the time where certainly a lot of positioning is very different for being tall versus small. And there are definitely positioning puzzles that are easier being short because you can get your body in positions that allow you to distribute your weight versus the pull of the grip that are beneficial. And it's not like the tallest climbers are the best climbers either. So I don't know. I'm sometimes a bit annoyed with that. My wife teases me about it a lot. Are climbing competitions highly segregated? You do need to try climbing, Kush. It's an absolutely phenomenal sport. If you haven't gotten into it, it's one of the most fun ways for me to do physical exercise that I've ever encountered. I tried hot yoga. I haven't. So yoga is one of the things that I seriously consider getting into and have been unable to muster the interest for. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about meditation too. Chat, apparently it's been a while since we've caught up and I feel like chatting. So we'll keep this rolling for a moment. So my wife got into yoga fairly heavily for a while and kind of goes in and out of phases with it. And I like the idea of yoga because I'm not very flexible. And I should be. I spend a lot of time stationary on the computer, and that's not fucking good for me. And yoga would be very helpful to my climbing, which is interesting to me because I like the idea of boosting my climbing. And the problem is I don't really fucking like yoga. And I don't really wish to add large chunks of my time devoted to activities that I don't really like to do. So part of me is like, I really want to try it or get into it more. Another part of me goes, flexibility is fucking hard for me. Sucks ass. I'm super inflexible. It's really painful and I kind of hate it. So I don't know, like I'm a mixed mind of that. And then sometimes the people who are trying to push me into yoga, I'm just like, I don't trust you and the things you say because I don't think there's a lot of facts involved in what you're telling me right now. They've got strength-oriented versions of hot yoga. I'll tell you what, I'll add to my running list of small life improvements that I'll get around to that I often do get around to. This is not to present a list that doesn't exist. Oh, I have it on there. I've got yoga once on there right now. I'll update that to hot yoga once. It sounds fairly miserable to me, but maybe not. So I tried meditating the last couple of months too. I've been trying that. I'm up to like 20, 25 times or something like that. I can't seem to muster the interest in it. That was another one that I know there's good health benefits for. I know the science supports that it's very good for you. I've heard it from a lot of different sources that it's really has measurable, impactful changes in people's life and happiness, meditation, but I'm struggling with it. Struggling with it. I'm doing a guided meditation app, so it's not like I'm just going into this blind, but I don't know, like, I can't tell if I don't hate it. It's not like the experience is unpleasant. It just feels like the experience is not accomplishing anything or doing anything. It just feels like I'm spending 10 minutes of my time, or 15, they're generally about 10 to 15 minute sessions of really not doing much of anything. And I kind of feel like, well, shit, I should get up and just go to work, you know, like, you can't meditate on gaming. It's not you don't meditate on much of anything. You meditate essentially on clearing your mind is the way that looks at. So you're not thinking about something. I understand thinking about something. When I run for physical activity, I bring things to think about, not joking, because running is so fucking boring that I literally make a mental list of things that I want to think about while I'm running to have something to do while I'm running. But it's the opposite with meditation. You're supposed to be clearing your mind, not the other way around. It's super miserable during, but yeah, Chris, you're a big proponent of that. The do shit that sucks because you'll be pleased about doing it afterwards. And I don't disagree with that in the sense that oftentimes I do shit that I don't want to do and feel better about having done it afterwards. But my thought process is I'm trying to build systems that are sustainable for me. And one of the ways that I do that is I remove barriers to entry. In other words, I make it as easy as fucking possible to go do, because then I'm more likely to do it consistently. So I don't know. Ever played Civilization 5? No. I never play it, and I never have played it. No. You think not doing anything is kind of the point of meditating? No, you're not doing anything. You are actively clearing your mind repeatedly. First time you did hot yoga, it was like losing your virginity. Yeah, I don't think I can touch that one. Yeah, I don't think I touched that one at all. Right, Xanavu? That was my take on it too, not an endorsement. A lot of hype. Yeah, maybe I'm doing it wrong, Andre. But my understanding is that's what I'm supposed to be doing. The other way to approach medication is to welcome thoughts and deal with them. Every time, my understanding of it is every time I am actively thinking about stuff, I'm supposed to stop doing that because that is not the intention of it. It's very easy to get lost in thought for 10 minutes, but I don't think that is what I'm supposed to be doing with meditation. Anyways, all right. Are we unpausing? This is a fair chunk of chatting. I played Fort Triumph. Isn't Fort Triumph the first stage of Divinity Original Sin 2? There's different ways of meditating? Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've done a typical New Year's thing, right? Where I'm like, all right, I've fallen off the horse a little bit in terms of 9 round. I'm kind of bored with that. Didn't do a lot of it. Been traveling a lot. Travel fucks up all my routines. I don't know how to fix this. This is maybe something some of you guys have some experience with too, right? Is travel fucks every one of the routines I set in place to do things that I don't really want to do, but I want to have done. Travel fucks up all of them. Fucks up my sleeping schedule, fucks up my eating schedule, fucks up my workout routine, fucks up my, just my like sleep patterns. Just always detrimental to me to travel for like health related issues. No, it's not. The first Larian game was Divine Divinity. What? I said it's the first level in Original Sin 2. Which I think it is. I think it's called Fort Triumph. But I don't know what it refers to as a standalone. Alright. We're going to unpause. I keep saying that, and I mean it. Still no modifying term for time. Oh, Fort Joy. I think was it Fort Joy? I thought it was. Anyways, maybe you're right. Okay. When we travel to meets, we pack our meals and do some bodyweight workout in the hotel parking lot when we arrive. Yeah, might make some sense.
Returned.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Happy New Year, filthy.
the structured stuff. Happy New Year to you as well, random guys somewhere. Thank you for the resub. Welcome back. This afternoon, there will be a release of a State of the Channel video on YouTube. I haven't done one of these in a couple months. bring up kind of the pressing issues at the moment for the channel, and I have a large desire for some feedback from you all as my community for that. So if you get a chance today, please check that out. It's not out yet. I'll be out a little bit later this afternoon, somewhere in the next probably 5 to 6 hours, I'd guess. And have some ideas in place. I've been in a weird spot where I have the motivation and interest in streaming, but don't have the content to be streaming much of right now. And I don't ever wish to be in that spot again. And we're building some systems to prevent that. So we'll see. We try fencers. No, I couldn't get a fencer build to work. Tried a couple of different ones, but couldn't ever get anything that was very exciting. It ended up being like a 1 in a billion kind of character, in which case, like, who fucking cares? All right, we are going to... Oh, dude, it's been too long. All right, so what do we need to build these? We're going to need gathering post, which is steel and wood. And we need coal, of course, so we don't fucking die. We can get 4 over here, right? This is wood. Oh, this is the one we're supposed to be stripping roads, too. Fuck. Ever tried fencing in real life? No. I wouldn't be against trying fencing in real life. Although the formality and the like history of the sports shit always pisses me off. Like, so what you're telling me is there's a right way to do it and you want me to do it your way because it's the right way. I don't want to do that. It inherently bothers me. Alright. And I don't really have my workout related goals are health related, like in the sense of like I would like to maintain a decent body weight, I would like to maintain a decent physicality, I would like to maintain a fairly decent health goal. That's my shit. I don't really care about being huge or, you know, like gaining muscle mass. I know that's particularly interesting to me outside of the health benefits of it. What? No Darkest Dungeon. Hey, welcome to the channel. You're a couple years late for the Darkest Dungeon content. We'll probably play Darkest Dungeon 2 when it comes out. In the meantime, I have 1,000,000,001 uploads of Darkest Dungeon on my YouTube. We need steel and wood. So I guess we're harvesting over here and here. Okay. Okay. When does Darkest Dungeon 2 come out? I don't know. They haven't announced a release date. Let's unpause. Unpause? No cruelty to dogs. Where do we have the ability to be cruel to dogs? Okay, it's an unpause. We did it! Ah, paused again. Good stream, chat. It was very nice catching up with you all. I will see you in the new year.
Quitters never win.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
All right. One more. Oh God, is the webcam doing things again? No. Okay. One more story, and I'm gonna start playing Frostpunk. Maybe one pause. So, as I said, 6 days, 10 days of travel, 10 days of this trip, 4 days of travel, 6 days of being there. Of those 6 days I was there, 3 of them I was hideously fucking sick for. 2 of those days were the first 2 days we were there. I wasn't sick. Then I was sick for 3 days, and there was one final day I was there before leaving. Right? Do we have a host? Oh, I had a sub while I was missing it. I think you were Revian. Probably we got an auto host. So auto hosts for me don't display. So probably we picked up someone's auto host. Is there a secret stream Discord? Is this a secret stream Discord did not notice me? Don't know what that means. I can't parse that question. Anyways, final day there. We go up to this beach. It's supposedly a world-class beach. You know, it's a taxi, a water taxi to get there style thing. We go there, and it's my last day here, and I haven't been able to enjoy this island at all, pretty much, because I've been sick for the entirety of it. And get there, and the waves it's actually a beach with waves, which for me is huge. Like, if I lived near the water, if I lived near water that was warm enough to be in regularly, I think I would take up either windsurfing or surfing. I find that fairly fun. I grew up on the coast of Maine, and I grew up always in the water as a kid. And the only thing to do in freezing fucking cold water as a kid growing up is you do a lot of body surfing, right? Like, that's what you do as a kid. You play in the waves, essentially. And the problem is, like, when I visit my parents in Florida, I would get in the water there. It's calm. It's shallow and calm everywhere. And it's the most boring water to be in ever. It's like being in a fucking bathtub. And baths are boring. It's just boring. I'm sitting there, like, with dying to the sun, and it is, every time I'm in direct sunlight, it's essentially it's like a countdown. It's like a countdown till I'll die. So I'm dying with nothing to do. Anyways, super boring. So anyways, so here on this beach, playing in the waves, and I've gone up and I've done my due diligence, which is fucking every 2 hours or every 3 hours you apply. You go to like what am I looking for? Not a circus, like a state fair, right? And they have the dunking booths. This is how I wish to have suntan lotion applied. I want a suntan lotion dunking booth so I can just do away with the tedium of having to fucking apply suntan lotion regularly, because it takes forever, and I have to literally cover every square inch of my body, or I'll inevitably be horribly burned for that. So anyways, I've done my due diligence. I have applied suntan lotion to every single possible portion of my body that exists, including portion that shouldn't have suntan lotion. I've got the inner eye totally covered in suntan lotion. Perfect. You know, I've got the mouth. I've got the gums covered in suntan lotion. We're good. We are as covered in suntan lotion as we possibly can be. Get on this beach, and the waves are amazing. I'm having fun in the water. It's actually fun to be in the water for the first time in ages. And enjoying that. I'm enjoying being out of bed and out of not being sick, not quite as sick anymore for the last portion of this, thinking, hell, this island vacation shit isn't so bad. And then I get back from that, and I'm out there for like maybe an hour in the water, hour and a half in the water, and I had applied suntan lotion beforehand, and then basically went straight back after that, got off the beach, got into shades kind of thing. And fucking Jesus, the equator sun, I am badly burned over all of my chest, all of my back, both upper arms. My face is peeling right now. It's hard to see it on the camera because the camera's not super high quality. But like, I am destroyed by this. Like, I'm like, come on, are you kidding me? So, anyways, it's just amusing to me. I'm like, it's just like I can't win with the sun. The sun is not my friend. No. Anyways, if I consider playing Civ 5 multiplayer again, a lot of old players have been returning recently. No, I have not considered that, nor will I consider that. All right. Suntan lotion? No. Suntan lotion increases your exposure. I'm talking sun protection. Thanks, Billy. All right, we're going to unpause. We're going to play some of this game today for real. Okay, we've assigned workers. We can unpause for real, all right? Is this available? Can I book a law something? Adaptation purpose. Adaptation. We're going to need soup. We're going to need something to do with the children. We're going to need extended shift. We're going to need corpse disposal. Yeah. 600 Civ games on YouTube. Yeah, I have some ungodly number of YouTube games, or YouTube Civ games. It's all right. Victor is a troll, so anytime you see him in chat, he's living up to his reputation. He has been one of the most consistent trolls I've ever met, in that every time he speaks to me, he is trolling me. And I take it as affection, honestly, at some level. So. Well, the Discord bot didn't work. I wonder if there's some integration issues with that Bladed Tycon. Twitch changed its interface a little bit. Which of these do we want? I think we'll work towards extended shift, maybe. Okay. Thank you, Code Monkey, for the 26 months. Made it to the big leagues. I don't think we've made it to the big leagues. I'm not sure I need to make it to the big leagues, honestly. I just would like to be able to do this forever. I don't think I have to be a massively huge channel for that. I just like what I'm doing and I want to continue liking what I'm doing. I played with Victor in Civ 5. We played with him. I've been on Discord with him, or voice comms. All right, got this going. Economy, we're gonna work. 43 homeless. That's fine. Let's work. Okay. Food additives and corpse disposal are the same thing. A lot of my games, as I was saying, I said this before, like a lot of my games end in cannibalism. That's how life is, I guess. All right, raw food, certainly an issue. People are gonna eat that relatively quickly. Gonna need housing. I'm gonna need a heating location. I'm gonna need research. I think I've mined too much steel already. I need 10 steel, but I don't need more than 10 steel. And I need as much wood as I can get. And I do need to strip the roads, but stripping the roads is a building activity, and building activities occur at the end of the shift and the beginning of the shift. So by the time we've unpaused, we're already past the beginning of the shift. What about mid-leagues? Thank you, Loloways. 54 months of subscribing. I really do appreciate the support. Mid-leagues. Probably mid-leagues. Yeah, mid-leagues. I don't know. Last couple months have been fairly small. Maybe small to mid-leagues. Sometimes I'm mid to large leagues. Sometimes. I think we need to restart because we unpaused too much. See, we made a mistake, Chad. I made a mistake. The beginning of these scenarios are insanely fussy. Insanely fussy. We will never submit our taxes. Ever. All right. Save our people. No. Okay. All right. So we decided we need to work the steel long enough to get the wood as much as possible. We're taking the adaptation emergency shift and we are unpausing. Okay. We need to get to 10 steel, but not more than 10 steel. Okay. And we need wood and maybe a little coal, but mostly wood. Okay. Yeah, the Ark scenario was pretty fun. This game is pretty fun. This game's a good game. I'm worried about its long-term replayability. Like, well, I'm not worried about it. I don't think it has long-term replayability. I think it's kind of like a beat them, move on kind of game, which is fine. All right, what does the day end? I don't remember when the day ends. I wonder if it's more efficient to build the gathering post that day, like immediately. You can get things to build midday if you unassign workers from doing anything else. I don't know. Probably not. Is there a coal pile over here? Yes. Good. Go. 1800, I think they go back. Yeah. Look at that pause. Fucking streamer pro strategies here. Hello, Azotol. All right. We are going to strip some roads and build some gathering posts. Dude, I can't remember. Was there a... We're not able to get 5 here, right? Happy New Year to you as well, mate. How does a gathering post gathering compared to assigning people? It's way, way more efficient because it hits all the resources simultaneously. I think it's individually slower, but as a whole, it's way more efficient. Okay. Can you get 5 if you strip the road first? I don't know. I don't know how many pixels off I am from losing that one as a gathering location. I'm going to hit these 4 though. Maybe these 5. Not sure. I think that hits 5. So if they're already overlapped, it doesn't matter. So I think we're going to build one here. I think we're going to strip some road. Okay. Maybe we could look, see if we could place it there, but I don't think we can. That actually does hit 5 right there. Okay. Wait, actually I don't know if it hits 5. Yeah, it does. All right. How open am I to non-spoiler backseat gaming? My general rule of thumb is any information request I have is welcome to be answered. And I don't wish to be told how to play. So things like, you know, like let's say, for example, I'm like, oh, I'm having trouble seeing how my people are assigned. I don't know how to track all that. And you're like, well, you can just hover this to see where they're assigned. That's useful to me. Being told, put your guys on coal is fucking irritating as shit and will be immediately moderated and possibly, possible reprisal, maybe by waterboarding. So, somewhere in there, I guess. Okay. All right. Where is this one going to get built? That also hits 5. It's probably okay. We're out of steel. No, we've used our steel efficiently. Wait, dismantle the street, dude. Dismantle. All right. I should unpause the game once. Are you kidding me? I'm not unpausing the game. It defeats the purpose. Now, what are we doing with this stuff? What do I need to build during the night? I need to build a research location. And I need to build a hunter's hut, I believe. This is the problem. The starts are so fucking fussy. Where's my tech building? Ah, so we're wrong. We're already fucked up. We need to get 15 steel, not 10. Fussy starts. Go. Oops. We will sometimes submit. Perfect. Chat, 4 minutes of productivity down the drain. Do we start again? Okay. All right. So technologies. Unpausing reduces future possibilities. You're not wrong. All right. how much resources we're getting back. Got one, nice. Oh, we don't have to do that right now because we're gathering for the first little bit. We just have to gather up to 15. It's the wrong one I took it off of too. Up to 15 steel. Okay. So we want to max the steel. Max this. Already did that. I don't know why it's prompting me for tech. We don't have tech. Give me 15 steel instead of 10. Okay. Get wood. Go. It's not optional on this difficulty to be fussy about starts, magic calls. I think we found that if you want to play on a lower difficulty on this one, I think you can be not as fussy about starts and still enjoy it. But this one is really snowbally in terms of the impacts of early decisions. And a lot of the scenarios seems to be basically picking the right sequence of text to begin with the right addition of your prioritization, really. Streamer, don't forget, if people are in the freezing cold for too long, they will die. Chat, do not forget that Filthy is relatively okay with human death. All right. Up to 18 hours. There we go. Okay.
Finish your labors, people. The work day is up.
Yeah, I mean, I figure it's relative, right? All right, so what was the issue? We have to put it in the middle. Okay. Dismantling streets. Okay. Gathering posts for all 5 there. Great. I'm not taking child labor. I don't have any children. Oh, I do have children. I thought I didn't have children. Well, there's a secondary consideration with child labor, which is that... No, I guess you specialize after, right? No, you have to make a... So here's the problem, right? And I guess... I can't remember if we were going to do child labor on this one or not. So child labor is fairly annoying, but you might be right. We might have to... I think we were doing it on this one. So the specialization is that later the engineer apprentices is really good, but that's a child shelter. And child shelter does nothing to begin with, followed by apprentices. I guess it probably keeps the children from getting sick, maybe, but I don't think they sleep there, so I think they still have to have houses, so I don't think it matters. And I think if they don't have child shelters, but they have houses, and the houses are heated, they still stay not sick, right? So if you go the child labor route, it's child labor, it's safe jobs into child labor. Can you go child shelters into child labor? I'm not sure. I don't know that we want to. I don't know. I think we get inundated with people. As I said, we're gonna. What's? I think the actual answer to that question is, it's been too long since I played the scenario. It's been a couple weeks, and we need to get that information as we do a couple starts. So let's get a couple starts. All right, where are we putting this? We'd like to harvest all 5 again. Wait, why is that highlighting them? Okay, that does highlight correctly. What's with the coloration patterns? Surely this is supposed to be highlighting differently based on what I'm in range of. Yeah. Also, we could strip a little bit more road there. White is not highlighted. But why would that one not be highlighted, but the one to the left is? It's covered by a trading post, it looks like. So it looks like it needs to be there to get the one we care about. Okay. All right. And now we need to build our tech building. How does this work tech building wise? Tech building is heat level 2, which starts off as a nice amount, but immediately becomes like irrelevant. So I think the other buildings, cookhouse is base heating 1, right? Yeah. People get sick super fast on this difficulty without housing. Can build up to 3 houses right now. Alternatively, we invest in something like food. They're gonna get hungry, and if we don't get ahead of the raw food to food rations conversion, we will get wrecked. It's highlighting them in forest green. Yes. Yeah, cookhouse freezing is a bitch. I'm trying to think, again, it's just been a couple weeks since we played. I need to think about the location of the stuff. We're going to have to get extended range fairly quickly. And I think what I want to do with the big buildings is build the half and half stuff for extended range. Like, I think that is considered, when we get extended range, that will be considered heating. I think. And then the medical outpost is a pretty big deal too. It's very expensive in wood. And getting the hunter's cabin going is a pretty big deal too. And I don't want this in the rings. This maybe is okay just to drop there. Can't remember if I need it now or for day 2. I think it was day 2. I think I have to build this at the end of day 1 because I think we get more people coming up to the next day. I don't really remember on this particular one. So let's get our workshop. This one I know I need because I need this going immediately. The question is where. We are going to extend the heat. Could do something like over here maybe. Believe that is in the second zone. Can't remember what we were going to do in this area. I had a plan for the positioning of this. Let's try it there. Might be just flat wrong. I think there's no reason not to spend the wood because we don't want people getting sick. Oh, you know what it was? It was the positioning for, I want the houses in the same rough semicircle or half circle because what I'm looking for is the there's a modifier that affects all the buildings. Okay. All right. No roof. I will provide shelter for everyone. Okay. I think we have to turn the heater on or people die. I think we can do it after the building completes here. Okay. All right, I want to staff these. Yeah, we're not using child. I think child labor was what we started with on day 1 previously on this because I think it allowed us to gather more resources. Okay. Tech-wise, what do we want? Beacon's very important. Hunter's gear is very important. We gotta get some of this other shit up and running too, like sawmills. Can't remember if we go straight beacon. If we had the time. It seems like scouts are gonna be really good. Oh, we don't have 10 wood. Doesn't matter. Can't do it till the morning. Okay. All right. All right, new laws. Adaptation. We want to get extended shift. Because extended shift is super good. All right, let's extend the gathering post shifts. No point in turning this one on extended shift until we've done some gathering. Where's my other gathering post here? Okay. They will start earlier with that, which is important. 3 people are sick. All right, coming up to the morning time. Sure, we got to get wood before we can do anything. 10 wood lets us tech. Maybe I shouldn't have done double houses. Should have got the extended duration to start on the research sooner. Shit, I got people unassigned too. Fuck. It's been a while, chat, since we played this game. The game is fussy about the start. All right. All right, what do we wish to take in? Wood, if possible. Are there any more wood reserves? No. Okay. A little bit of steel should be okay. Okay. Hello. All right. Steel, steel. These are being worked, correct? Yes. And yes. All right, we have sick people now. Workday's over at 1800. Well, kind of. For some people, anyways. All right, let's get the next round of buildings up for the night. We're going to need a medical post. The medical post will need to be heated. We're going to need housing. How much housing did I promise? Need 4 more. It doesn't matter. They're going to get sick. And we need food. And we did not build the food building. And cold snap in less than a day. Okay. We dismantled all the road we can dismantle? I think not. I think we haven't done this road yet, right? Okay. What? Okay, we'll build a beacon, sure. Did get a little bit more wood off the extended shift. Maybe enough to throw somebody in a house. We need to get dude. What time does extended shift go to? 20, so they're done. So I will not be able to build a hunter's cabin right now, even if we want to. I will be able to finish. The tech's 92%. No, it's not going to matter. So we might as well build the house here. All right, where am I housing? Housing is here. New law. Soup.
Listen, everyone. New
Soup
law
decreases
is
hope. Totally understandable. I don't really love soup that much either. All right, we have 8 engineers, of whom we are going to take 5 and throw in here. Okay. Oh, I think I wanted to go down the route of increased size on that as soon as possible. Chat, I'm a brand new streamer. This is my first stream. Please remind me if things like audio suddenly starts working. It's confusing when we had a very active conversation in chat today with fairly moving chat, and now chat's quiet, and I'm like worried that something is technologically wrong right now. All right, we just fucked it up. I just ate all of our food. We don't have more food gathering going. This is probably already a restart, which means we have to delay housing. It's the only resource that we can tap that we haven't already. Or delay that we haven't already to get the food gathering going. We don't have the people. Well, I mean, we kind of do. I've been